The sister of the Boston Marathon bombing suspect now accused of using her brother's reputation to scare the mother of her boyfriend's child. Aliana Tsarnaeva was arrested in New York City on one count of aggravated harassment. She'll answer to these charges next month. So does her case deserve special consideration because of her relationship to the alleged bombers? Weighing in, our legal panel, David Schwartz is here and Keisha Heaven, both defense attorneys and former prosecutors. Good to see both of you.
Good to see you.
All right, David, I'm going to start with you on this. Okay, so what now that she has made this threat? Okay, she's been arrested, but can authorities take further action besides, of course, putting her under heavy surveillance, I'm guessing, but because she's the sister of, are there any grounds to call her in even more? I don't know, something further to her?
First of all, we don't know if she made the threat. That's just an accusation at this point. So there's an accusation of a threat, and I believe this case should be looked at in a vacuum. Justice is blind. Just because she has a relationship with the brother of the bomber, just because there's a family relationship there, doesn't mean that she should be treated any differently in this case. So I don't think there should be any further action besides analyzing this case.
So, Keisha, do you agree with David that we're not sure that she made this threat?
No, I don't. As with any criminal prosecution, the defendant normally says, I didn't do what they're accused of. So that's not anything new. But I do think that her relationship to the bombing suspect should be considered in the prosecution of this case because it goes to what the victim of this threat felt. And any reasonable person who was told, you know, I have someone who can put a bomb on you, and you know they're related to this person, that would create some type of heightened alarm.
So then, Keisha, regarding these so-called people that she allegedly has, that you just referenced, what might that investigation entail in terms of possibly connecting dots to those alleged people?
Well, you know, I think that would be a far-fetched, but I do think there could be some, you know, further investigation into her, but I don't think it will affect their prosecution at all because it's not related to that incident.
So, David, you're telling me she's been arrested, and that's that, and maybe they'll just continue keep her under scrutiny in terms of surveillance, but you're saying that they're not going to be tracking her whereabouts in the U.S. and perhaps her travels abroad?
Well, look, what she's accused, it's a serious accusation to threaten to bomb someone. You know, that's a very serious accusation. It's got to be analyzed. My point is, it's got to be analyzed the same way every other case is analyzed. Just because she has a relationship with these two people doesn't mean that the threat should be taken any differently.
But again, this is all alleged at this point. I understand, however, you're saying just because she has a relationship, first of all, a blood relationship, but secondly, because of who they are. We're not just talking about just some college frat boys.
She was not accused of anything during that horrible tragedy that took place. So she should be judged within herself. Justice is blind.
Why would she make such a ridiculous comment knowing that her brother is a suspect in the bombing that destroyed so many people's lives? That's not something she should play with, and that to me does make her very suspicious.
Keisha, would it shock you if the victim knew about all this and she made it up that the defendant said these horrible words to her, knowing that her brother was involved in the bombing?
We know that does happen, but it's all about credibility at this point.
And that's my whole point.
And so, but Keisha's point is, though, that she would say, we understand, again, it's all alleged, these are allegations, and perhaps the girlfriend could have made this up. We don't know, but if you're looking at in terms of reputation, then Keisha's point is she's more likely to side with the girlfriend in this case.
Right, and I'm more likely to side with justice. Justice is blind. Let the case roll out. Let the prosecution do their thing. Let the defense defend the case. And let this be treated like every other case. That's the credibility of our criminal justice system, to treat every case the same.
Okay, so let me ask you, is there any further questioning of the baby mama, if you will?
I think there has to be, like, okay, when did she say it? Do you have any proof of it? I mean, with any investigation. But I think in today's society, you can't take anything like that lightly. And I understand what you're saying about justice, but they have to look with high scrutiny on this type of situation.
And I agree with that. They have to investigate the situation, but not more than any other situation.
So you're telling me this lady can just go about her business and they're not going to be tracking her moves?
They may, but they may, you know, if they do it in every other, look, they track movements. Anyone who makes a threat like that could be potentially dangerous, and people are tracked all the time, and sometimes people make good on their threats, and that's very dangerous. That's why this case to be treated the same way.
Last word.
I disagree. I think that she needs to be treated different because of her connection to the suspect in that bombing. And I just feel that if we didn't and something happened, then what? It'll look bad.
Keisha Hebben, David Schwartz, now that you have done your duty and come to work today, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Go out and
you.
eat some barbecue.
Going to.
Invited me over, right?
Yes.
Okay, Eric.